Welcome, fool, to Geek Salad's Retro Movie Reviews for the Geek Salad Podcast. I'm Andy.
I'm Mike.
And tonight we continue our look at the Rocky sequels. Going into 1982, one of the greatest summers of movies ever, with Rocky 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was this the first time you've watched Rocky 3?
Oh no. I saw Rocky 3 back in the day. It's been the first time in probably 30 years.
Okay. Makes sense. I think it's been about 10, 15 for me.
Yeah,
Now
honestly,
it's on Netflix. We could watch it.
yeah. Outside of us renting it on like VHS back in the day, I don't think I've ever watched any of the Rocky movies outside of just doing it for this. And Andy froze up.
Yeah, it froze up. No, I had to switch my connection.
There we go.
Yeah. Okay, so repeat what you just said because I totally missed that.
Okay, yeah. Outside of us renting them on VHS back in the day, I don't think I've ever watched any of the Rocky movies outside of doing them for this.
Yeah. Okay. I saw this in the theater.
That's surprised.
It might have been the first Rocky movie I had seen in total. I think just prior to that, Rocky 2 was on television. But this is the first one I saw, brand spanking new.
Yeah.
This is a weird one, especially when you consider what came before and what's going to come after.
Yeah, it's kind of nice the fact that they pretty much ignore every bit of Rocky 2 other than the fight with Creed at the end.
He is a completely different character in this movie.
The problem with his eye never mentioned in this one. Granted, it's supposed to take place like 3 to 5 years after Rocky 2.
I had seen it was supposed to. They had intended it to be 4 years after, which makes no sense when you look at the fact that Rocky 2 took place on Thanksgiving of '76, and Mickey dies in 1981.
So that's about 5 years then?
Yeah, that would be 5 years.
Yeah. That's you know what? It's pretty remarkable that you can go from not even being able to read cue cards and having absolutely no acting ability to appearing on the Muppet Show.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy, the whole just the whole transformation, because it happens while he is still boxing.
Yeah.
While he is still having people, no matter how really unqualified they were, punching him in the face and head.
Yep.
That he is very well put together in this movie, I'll say.
He in the first 2 movies he feels like he's just like kind of a gritty, just pugilist.
He's a
here he is a professional boxer.
Yes.
And he's you know how that plot point that it only took about maybe the first half hour of Rocky 2 where he gets kind of overwhelmed by all the money, and Adrian's not too. She's like iffy about it, and then in this one they make that the entire plot point for the first hour of the movie, and Adrian's cool with it.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you're actually getting like good endorsement deals for American Express, and you're doing all these appearances and charities and whatnot, you're probably making some decent money. Plus, now that he's the world champ, he's making more money. I mean, when you look at we're comparing it to boxing today, but look at those purses that the big world champion fighters are fighting for. They are fighting for millions of dollars. Millions of dollars, exactly. And it just feels to me that's kind of where all that money comes in. And it's we don't question that for obvious reasons. We don't question the money. I more question the fact that he doesn't babble
No.
as much as he did in the first 2 movies, where he was talking like this all the time, and I got these thoughts just running through my head. I got to stop these thoughts. And there was this one guy. I saw him on the corner, at a fire tent, and he was singing. And I figured, this guy's following me all over the place. It's almost like he's my brother or something.
Yeah, good old Frankie.
Oh my
Frankie
God!
baby.
I'm watching the movie, and I had to text you. I'm like Frank Sinatra Frank Stallone sighting.
It's like, of course he did, because
Yeah.
Jackie's got to make sure that Frank is in every single one of Sly's movies.
Oh my God! You know how weird it is to see a Frank Stallone in the movie that Sly's not in, like Hudson Hawk.
It's like, so was Sly a producer here? Because why else would anyone hire Frank Stallone?
Honestly, Frank Stallone was hired in the in Hudson Hawk just so they could make the dumb brother joke.
Of course.
Yeah.
You know what? Fair.
Yep.
Fair.
Yep. Yeah, go ahead.
It is so remarkably hard to watch the scene with the charity match against Thunderlips.
Oh my God!
Seeing a well-renowned, respected, just really genuine actor like Burgess Meredith having to spout such cockamamie lines, the acting in awe and acting like afraid of Hulk Hogan, who is one of the most worthless pieces of shit ever.
Yeah.
In the history of wrestling.
The funny thing is that the role was originally intended for Andre the Giant.
Oh, that would have been amazing.
That would have been, even though the thing is, I think they kept the dialogue to a minimum because Hogan didn't get, and I don't think he got any acting lessons in this, and it shows.
I mean,
he's very much reciting his lines.
Yeah.
It's, first of all, I always find it funny too that anybody who still questions whether or not he was a racist, the fact he's calling the Italian stallion the ultimate meatball. It's like, I think that might be a racial slur. It's weird too because if he's supposed to be like one of the top guys in the industry, and I'm still going back to when kayfabe was huge and the territories ruled everything. I still don't think that Thunderlips would have gone completely ham on that. Not only that, but for professional wrestling, that they wouldn't have hashed this whole thing out beforehand.
Oh, they absolutely would have.
Right. I mean, I think Gorilla Monsoon fought Muhammad Ali in a very similar type of charity event as well. And, Gorilla Monsoon was a big dude.
And then there was, of course, the infamous match where Butterbean took out Bart Gunn.
Bart Gunn. Well,
yeah.
That was more...
that was punishment.
Huh?
That was punishment.
It was punishment. Yeah, Bart Gunn was actually a really good boxer, but then they just sent him into, with a wrecking ball.
Yeah.
And so Mr. T, Clubber Lang.
Yeah.
Interesting story. They had auditioned about 1,200 people for that role. Most of them were boxers, and they realized that most boxers A, can't act, and B, none of them sound tough. I mean, back in the day, we used to make fun of the way Mike Tyson talks. Most boxers kind of talk like that because they've been punched in the mouth so many times.
Yeah.
So like Mike Tyson would talk like this, but like all these other guys, it's so finding Mr. T was a bodyguard. He was actually a bodyguard for Sugar Ray Leonard. I mean, he looks the part. Yeah. He looks tough. He's very reserved, and they use him just enough.
Yeah, I mean, like when they really have give him like moments of like time to actually speak. Like his interviews with in the locker rooms. That's when you're like okay, he's not a professional actor.
No, but he didn't need.
Yeah, but he's still he's effective enough.
Yeah,
he's no Carl Weathers.
No, and we'll get to him in a second. but I feel like with what they gave T to do in terms of just for dialogue lines, there wasn't a whole lot there, but a lot of it was, you're cutting your interviews, and you're just being a big scary dude.
Yeah.
And I think that he got that memo, and he was perfectly fine in this. I legitimately, even to this day, still buy that toughness that he is. He's very much on the stature of like a Mike Tyson, who wasn't even boxing at this time. All power, and the match quickly.
Yeah.
So
and that honestly, that made the final match, that made it make sense, because as long as Rocky could outlast him. I mean, hell, Mickey even said it, like, you go a few rounds and he's going to lose.
Yeah. It's interesting too, because this is the only movie where you actually see both fights in total.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
everything else cuts to different rounds. This one, because they're both short fights.
Yeah.
Carl Weathers. Even Carl Weathers said that this was his favorite undertaking of Apollo Creed.
I love. Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's Carl Weathers. Yeah. I love Carl Weathers and everything he's in. Carl Weathers is just freaking amazing. He was a gem of an actor.
Yeah.
But yes, he had a better friendship, I think, with Rocky than he did as a rival. I mean, don't get me wrong. Their rivalry was fantastic. But when they actually have a friendly rivalry going, the chemistry between Carl Weathers and Sylvester Stallone is off the charts.
It is. Yeah, and you genuinely believe that these guys have had a past relationship. And I feel like, especially with Weathers coming in there and having to step in for Mickey, it worked really, really well, because he saw what happened. He saw, because that was him.
Yeah.
That was essentially him in the first movie. He had taken his eye off the prize, and he got humiliated by this nobody.
Yeah.
So he's coming in there now, and he's going to, teach him how to be a more aggressive fighter. Again, it's always with, okay, well, Rocky, you got to change the entire way you fight.
Because that kind of leads to, speaking of people being completely different in this movie, Talia Shire's Adrian. This is a completely different Adrian than we saw in Rocky 1 and Rocky 2. But her scene on the beach, I thought that was Talia Shire acting the hell out of what she had in this role.
Right.
That was my favorite scene of Adrian in any of the movies so far.
Yeah, because she's no longer the doormat. She's no longer kind of like shaking her head, going, "Yep, yep, yep." Okay, what are you saying, Rocky?
Yeah, you saw all the scenes of her like watching Rocky, like not struggling in his training and all that.
Yeah,
and you saw like she was putting it all together. She knew what was going on.
Yeah, I think that she is used far too little in this.
Yeah.
And again, because the story isn't about her. I mean, realistically, the story's never really been about Adrian. She plays a bigger part in the first movie.
Yes.
In terms of just the overall arc. But like with Weathers, everything that he did in this was fantastic. Bringing him out to LA and having him, train out there. We learned what a horrific racist Paulie is.
Speaking of Paulie, the entire opening credits was building up. Oh, Paulie's going to have an issue with Rocky. Oh, it's going to go bad. It's going to go bad, and then it's resolved in 5 minutes.
Yeah,
done. Credits over. They have a fight. Done. Okay, cool. And then then he turns into a horrendous racist.
Other than show you that you also, if you want a bar, you could have this fantastic Rocky pinball machine.
Yeah.
All of the souvenirs, all of the merchandise in this movie was genuine merchandise. None of this was fabricated for the movie. Honestly, the closest things that came to fabrication were the American Express ad and having to re-record Kermit the Frog's intro.
Yeah, Jim Henson had to record as Rocky Balboa instead of Sylvester Stallone.
Right.
Still a
But they
good
both
episode though.
scan enough. They both scan enough here, so no one really noticed.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, Paulie is. I mean, when Paulie is in it, he ain't great because mainly he's just complaining about black people.
Yeah, him calling it the jungle jump music or whatever.
Exactly, and what they're playing Survivor. I mean, really?
Wow, Paulie
they're like the whitest, sweatiest guys in there, and that video is crazy because like their keyboard player looks like he's gonna keel over. He's just sweat dripping down. He's like, and he looks like a substitute science teacher from that time. It's just, and, yeah.
Apparently, Sylvester Stallone wanted to use Another One Bites the Dust.
Yes.
But Queen killed that, so they brought in Survivor. And I didn't realize the song came from the movie instead of the lines from the movie coming from the song.
Yeah. So essentially, what happened was that he was tasked to write the song. Stallone loved it so much he took the demo and inserted it into the movie, where they were like, we haven't cleaned it up yet. So the only way you can hear that demo is in the movie. The song that appears on the Rocky III soundtrack and on their album, The Eye of the Tiger, is the studio version, like the actual studio version of it. I will say it is first of all, one of the greatest songs of the 80s. Probably one of the best get your blood pumping songs ever. I remember James was about 2. He was like 2 or 3. And when I had the 80s playlist on, and that would come on, and you're just like, and he knew it. And then all of a sudden that, bam, 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 he would just start punching. Bam, bam, bam. One time I was at the store, back when I was working at the store, and I was talking to our old co-worker Will, and I was like, hey, watch this, because James was with me. I hit it. He comes running in, he's like, bah, bah, bah.
I bet you Will loved that.
Oh, he thought it was hilarious. But yeah, I mean, the song is iconic. Honestly, it might be, between that and Mr. T, the most iconic parts of this movie. Interesting thing also, I read on IMDb in their trivia. So this movie was nominated for 1 Oscar. It was for the song. Oh. It didn't win because Up Where We Belong from An Officer and Gentleman won, because we can't have nice things. But it did say this is the only movie that Hulk Hogan has acted in that was nominated for an Oscar. Oh, you sassy bitches, IMDb.
You know what? Touche, sirs. Touche.
Good show.
I salute that one.
Take that, Hulkster.
You racist piece of shit.
It's just, all right, so here's the other thing about this movie, too, that really is kind of this. While this movie does feel different than the first 2 movies, they definitely were trying to get away from, we can't continue to remake Rocky.
Yeah.
So the new formula is he loses the first fight, wins the second fight.
Yes.
And because he's got to find that new way of training and all that, and that will carry us on when we move into the other movies, and then they decide to be a little more topical about stuff. Because realistically, while I feel like Rocky 3 might be the most early 80s Rocky movie, by virtue of being released in the early 80s, you could have actually released that in like 79.
Yeah.
There wouldn't have been a whole lot of difference there. So, yeah.
Yeah. Here's the question. Rocky 3 or Rocky 2?
Oh, Rocky 3.
I would agree.
Yeah, if I had to go back and watch a Rocky movie that isn't the first Rocky, it's gonna be Rocky 3.
I will admit though, like, it's been a while since I've seen this one, but I was running a little bit short on time, and so I actually skipped past their first fight because I knew what was going to happen, and there's not really much you need to see in it. It's just
no, it's just Rocky. Rocky is tired because Rocky was out partying where he should have been training. That, by the way, that the public workout was. I don't know if that's a real thing, but that's a really stupid idea.
Yeah.
Because it makes a mockery out of everything that he's doing, and it's like it telegraphs the audience, oh, he's gonna lose.
Yeah, especially after Mickey starts having his heart attack, and it's like, I won't leave until Rocky's done. It was like, okay, you're dead.
And then
we might as well just have a funeral.
Cutting to like Clubber, like doing his
solo training there.
Do a solo training. I will say too, it's in terms of movie deaths, I feel like there was such a missed opportunity of actually making us feel bad for Mickey dying. And it's like Mickey dies, and then all of a sudden Stallone sounds like a gorilla who just had a stroke. Nothing. And they keep it going. They keep the audio going as they dissolve to the cemetery.
And not only that, but they also telegraphed Mickey's death pretty much from his first scene, where it's like okay, Mickey's having heart problems. He's not making it out of this movie alive. You knew that right from his first scene.
And Burgess Meredith always looked old in these movies. And apparently, according to his tombstone, he was only 72.
Yeah.
One interesting thing I read, though, in IMDb is that this is the first reveal that Mickey is Jewish.
Yeah.
Old Mill. And he's buried in a Jewish cemetery in a mausoleum.
Yeah, whereas Burgess Meredith, actually, he was 89. He died just like 2 months before his 90th birthday.
Right. But he was also, in reality, 2 years younger.
Yeah.
Than Mickey. But yeah, no, everyone assumed that Mickey was just like, Irish. Because Mickey. But yeah, no, that was just like, oh, look at that.
Yeah. And they have a nice Jewish ceremony right there.
Yeah.
Eulogy.
Yeah. So it's just overall, I mean, the movie it can be enjoyable. It's just weird because I feel like when you watch it with the amount of separation that you and I have had for Rocky 2 into this, it seems like a weird jump. Yeah.
Genuinely, the first half of this movie, I could care less about. It's not. Yeah. It's really not until Apollo takes Rocky out to L.A. that I feel like things start because that's when you really get Carl Weathers, and once Carl Weathers is in the movie, it's a better movie.
Oh, it is a much better movie, and the more that you get of Carl Weathers. Interesting thing also, apparently that animosity between Clubber Lang and Apollo Creed was real.
Really?
They got into an argument off screen before the scene started. So when Creed's like, "Why don't you shut up? Why don't you shut up, old man?" That was real.
I also another little detail I noticed. Duke had a jersey on that said Rocky on the back.
Yeah.
Paulo had a jersey that said Rocky on the back. Paulie had a jersey that said Paulie on the back.
What are we gonna do with Paulie?
I'm so glad that they gave Burt Young much more to do in this movie because they made his character so much worse.
Oh, it was seriously. And there's also a scene too where Rocky spits, and he spits right in Burt Young's face, and it wasn't even improvised, it was just an accident.
Yeah.
And the surprise you see in Burt Young's face is genuine. But yeah, I mean, just getting back to the movie on the whole, I do enjoy this one. I think this one has got it's kind of earned its nostalgia points too, especially going back and looking at all the movies that got released that summer. My God.
Yeah.
So it is nice that this is one of the top grossing movies of the year too. I mean, nothing was beating E.T., but this was a huge hit.
So yeah, I much rather watch this movie, but much rather watch the last 40 minutes of this movie.
Exactly. My movie's a perfect movie, only because we're watching Rocky's dumbassery at this point, to a different extent of the dumbassery that we saw in the second movie.
Yeah.
We just bought the house, man. What is money anyway?
Yeah.
No, really, tell me, what is money? I don't understand that.
Yeah, I'll watch the movie from when Rocky and Apollo meet in Mickey's gym to the end. I'll watch it again. I'll watch that movie over and over again. It's a very short movie. It's a very good movie. Yeah. Very short and good.
And I like too how it caps off. It's like, don't forget, after this is all over, you owe me a favor.
I love their favor. Yeah, and I also love the fact that it just ends with them throwing the punch.
Yep.
You didn't need
the lore. According to the lore, Creed won that match, but I don't know. Maybe that was Carl Weathers telling that story, or maybe not Carl Weathers. Maybe it was Action Jackson who told that story.
Oh, Action Jackson would win every fight.
Absolutely. But yeah, no, I like the way that it ended, especially too because it was just like it was a boxing ring in the gym. Yeah. They're wearing sparring. They're wearing sparring gear. But it is nice to see that they're gonna go without any ego, no cameras, no nothing. It's probably one of the most human moments in the entire movie.
Absolutely. Honestly, it might be one of the most human moments outside of the first movie.
Yeah, I agree. I will say also, God. I don't know about you. I mean, obviously, I'm not in shape. But looking at Stallone's 2.5% body fat made me hurt. It's just like usually when muscles are that tight, it makes my body hurt. I don't know why. It's a psychosomatic thing. It's like, ooh. And watching them in their 80s, too short shorts, running on the beach.
Yeah, and then they're grabbing and hugging, and I don't know why people say that there's gay moments in this movie.
I know, seriously. I mean, at some point too, that there are additional takes of the close-ups where someone's nuts just fell out of that thing.
Oh, actually, speaking of that,
flapping against their leg, it's like, okay, cut. We gotta take that again. What? It was perfect. No, it was not.
You can actually tell how good of an actor Carl Weathers is. Because when they do that first race, and he beats Rocky by miles, and he stops, you can see the divot in the ground where they did take after take after take, and he kept hitting that same divot every single time till it's dug in.
Yep,
that is what an actor Carl Weathers is.
Hey, that's a perfectly good divot right there.
Mm-hmm. It's a good one for making you stop right on the dime.
Yep. And guess what? Free refills. It's a perfectly good bone. You take this, some vegetables, you got soup. I love that. But yeah, no, I enjoyed this one.
Yes.
It's going to be next week's conversation with Rocky 4 is going to be interesting. I know you're bringing one of your coworkers on.
Yes, yeah. My good friend Eric, he is a massive Rocky fan.
Okay. Okay.
And
I hope he's watching these to understand what he is getting into, especially with my cynical takes. But I will say I do enjoy this movie. Other than outside of the first movie, this is the most rewatchable Rocky film.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. Again. Anyway, well, that was our take on Rocky 3. We want to know, where does it stack up in your rankings of Rocky? Let's be honest here. Where does it appear between 2, 4, and 5? And why is it so much higher than 5? That's actually
no. I think you can just drop 5 because I don't think not even my buddy Eric, massive Rocky fan he is. Even he can't stand about 5. Nobody likes 5.
Yeah, we're not talking about 5. I might watch it just out of the shits and giggles, but I still got to get through 4 first.
Yeah.
And we'll have stories, and it will be fun. So leave that polite comment below. This is YouTube, so you know the deal. You got to hit the subscribe button. You got to hit the thumbs up. Do all that fun stuff. Share. Also, check out our channel so you can check back on all of the retro movie reviews that we do. Mike and I have been doing this, good God, for 8 years. So it's been 8 years for this, 18 for the podcast that we host.
Yeah.
So, and we've got a new episode coming up in a few weeks. We just had a discussion of our favorite live albums, which was a really fun conversation.
Yeah.
And if you got in on the live chat, which I know Kurt Smith, our friend Kurt Smith did, you'll enjoy that. The pro version will be out in just a few weeks.
Yep.
And I think that's about it. Oh yeah, social media. We are on Facebook at Geek Salad Podcast and on Blue Sky at Geek Salad Radio. And I think that is now about it. So until next time, I'm Andy.
I'm Mike.
Go forth and be nerdful. We'll talk to you later. And don't forget.